I'm going to show you how you can make some seed starter trays with just some newspaper, tape, and a little bit of a PVC pipe. These are completely recyclable. They will compost. It's a great way to start your seeds without having to go to Home Depot or anywhere and getting a special seed starter kit. So I'm going to use a 1.5 inch PVC pipe and just a sheet of newspaper. You can use, larger or smaller sizes, but I find that this works really well. So I just wrap the newspaper around the tube and go ahead and wrap it up tightly. When I get to the end, I stop for a moment and I'm going to use some glue stick on the end. Close it up and then roll all the way and then seal it with my hands. Then we remove the newspaper from the PVC pipe. And the first thing you're going to want to do is fold it so that the edge of the newspaper becomes a corner. So I just adjust it down. You can see the edge of the newspaper is now the edge of that. So I go ahead and press it down, and you want to have a good crease, so using the handle of a scissor or part of a ruler is a good way to make sure that these creases get down really good. Next, I need to open it up and fold it in the other direction. So what I want to do is make these two edges meet. So when I fold it this way, I look inside and I make sure that I'm hitting that little folded edge to this folded edge. And that way when I'm done, I'll have a square tube. As long as it meets on one side, it's going to meet on both. And again, do a really nice press. Now you're going to need a ruler. And right now, if you use the 1.5 inch pipe, then your paper will be 1.5 inch wide. So what we're going to do to make some decent sized tubes is use your ruler on the edge of your newspaper, and you want to make a cut about once every 4¼ inches. Doesn't have to be exact. So 4¼ 8.5, and then 4¼ again. And you'll use up most of the newspaper this way. Now we find our cuts and cut all the way through, trying to be as straight as we can. Again, doesn't have to be perfect. Now you can do several of these at a time, but I'm just going to do one so it's obvious what I'm doing here. Now, because it is 1.5 inches thick, the best cut that you're going to make is about 3/4 inch, so about half of that. You want to go a hair larger than that. My thumb happens to be 3/4 inch thick because I got chubby thumbs, so I know that when I cut through, hold my thumb to the edge and I go just about as wide as my thumb is. So I went right through the folded line, reverse that, and do the same thing again through that folded line. Then I take this and I want to fold it up on where I cut through and then go backwards on the same line. This will create a crease so the newspaper folds more easily. Now we just take it and fold it like you might a box. So you fold in the little tabs, and then we want to lift this tab and put this one underneath the same way you kind of do a box, and you push it on the inside a little bit, and that will give it a nice firm bottom for holding your planting material. Okay, and that gives you a tube. So we get 10 of these together, and 2 sheets of newspaper will get you 10. And of course I pre-made a few. So we've got 10 of them here. And the next thing you want to get is gummed paper tape. So this is probably the cheapest tape you can get for packaging. And you dip it in water. It is compostable. So we're going to use that to hold all of our pieces together. So I just go ahead and dip that in water. And I can strain it once so it's not too drippy. And I lay that down. And I'm going to line up the bottoms of my boxes or little tubes to the edge of that paper. And this way the tray will essentially have a flat bottom. So that's 5. Put one more up here. Now I can start to wrap this up the side. And it's about 2.5 feet of tape that you need. But depending on your tube, it might be a little bit different. All right, put that over. And I can just fold over the extra or cut it off. Then I can go ahead and cut in between the tubes once I'm ready to plant. So I would fill this with dirt, put the seeds inside, and then I would cut in between when I'm ready to plant it out in my garden, and that way you'll have individual tubes. But this is a great way to kind of carry them around and get them ready for when you're good to go. All right, I hope that's been helpful. Please subscribe to my videos and check out other tips that I have for you.